Go back inside the 10-yard line.
I said Nick Toon, but they put Jared Abradaris back there instead.
Three-man rush. Cousins on the last play of regulation chucks it to the end zone. Caught! Michigan State's caught it on a rebound. Hold on. It is just short of the end zone. Instant replay. We'll take a look at this. The Spartans caught the ricochet. They want the touchdown. Instant replay will have to decide now. Ball on the field is no touchdown. Indisputable to turn this over. Remember that. As Nickel was battling, you be the official.
I mean, Brent, it is right at...
Hello, I am your average analyst, giving the average man's perspective on the games. I watch college football from 11 o'clock in the evening to 12:30 at midnight, and it was well worth it. I tell you what, Thursday was interesting. I called West Virginia to beat Syracuse. I said, if I didn't remember, I said Syracuse is making progress. I probably didn't say that. I watched them play against Rutgers, and they made progress. West Virginia got blown out of the water. And here I got my handy-dandy laptop in to help me give me the scores. I'm wondering where to go, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, or Michigan State, Wisconsin. I'm going to go Wisconsin, Michigan State for the simple fact that I had it in my top 5 list. If you want to average analyst Facebook page. Yeah, Wisconsin jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Honestly, I thought Wisconsin had it from there because I watched Michigan State get dominated by Notre Dame. I was like, okay, if they're not going to get this game early, they're going to lose. And they got the lead, and Wisconsin fought right back with the Russell Wilson I knew as a Florida State fan from back at NC State. And I was like, wow, that is a Heisman drive. This guy is going to definitely win the Heisman now. He's going to win it in OT. This is going to be him almost getting a stature of Andrew Luck right here. But it turned out not to be, as Kirk Cousins, a helmet. It was poor time management. Wisconsin thought they were going to get the ball back, and I thought they were too. But a great call on the shovel pass. Kirk Cousins finds the guy who was a backup quarterback, tipped in the air. They got the review, right? I was like, why did they call that a touchdown live? I was like, that's a touchdown because the ball broke the plane. And I'm going to see if I could try to find the footage to put in this video. So we'll see. It was a great play. You had to watch. It was a great game. Game number 2, Texas Tech, Oklahoma. I said I'll put it in my also games to watch category. It's like you have 5 games to watch. My games I'm definitely going to be watching today, and the games that I'm going to try to catch. And the game that I called, Texas Tech, Oklahoma, it was delayed an hour and 45 minutes because of rain, because of bad weather, and that wasn't the only thing. Rain wasn't the only thing falling on the Sooners parade. It was the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Tommy Tuberville always, I texted a huge Auburn fan, and I was like, how about Tubbs? Tubbs got him one. He's like, he always beats teams that he's not supposed to beat, and this is a perfect example. Oklahoma, though, you can now ask questions. Is their defense that good? Florida State with the speed. Does speed bother them? What exactly bothers Oklahoma? And to me, they didn't play like they came back. They don't look like the number 3 team in the country. But I think there's a pretty good chance they'll still win the Big 12 because Oklahoma State has not proven to me they choke fairly well, and that was one of the games I had higher up there. Oklahoma State, Missouri. Oklahoma State, Missouri was interesting. Missouri and Notre Dame had the same problem. They were coming back and made it close. You saw them play. Missouri gets intercepted. Okay, you say Missouri's going to make the comeback. They're at home. It's a big game. Number 4 team in the country coming to the house. And wow, they just turn the ball right back over. They don't do anything. I didn't have Missouri as an upset pick. I knew this game. I thought the game was going to be close. 45-24. Oklahoma State did this all with Justin Blackman sitting out in the second half. So it was Big 12 football is always entertaining. Let's go through on the list. Auburn at LSU. You know, with a lot of Auburn fans here in the Jackson County area, I was thinking, Auburn really shouldn't have started Mosley. I think I understand the logic why they started Mosley, because he's more mobile than Trotter. But Trotter, yes, he's been struggling, but he gives you the best chance to win, in my opinion. And it wasn't going to matter, 45-10. But watch out for that LSU. Watch out for the LSU team. They have played 3 straight weeks, a team with a backup quarterback. And you go with a quarterback, a starting quarterback in National College Football. Watch out. I'm not saying I'll have my predictions later on, but just watch out. Tennessee and Alabama. Alabama wins 37-6. It was 6-6 at halftime. Alabama just explodes. Already covered Oklahoma State, Missouri. Boise State gets a good test by Air Force, and Air Force, always a decent team. They're 0-3 in the Mountain West this year. Interesting thing I heard: Boise State can't wear their own blues in the Western Athletic Conference. And my dad says, my dad was just making off the go comment the other day. It's like, some uniforms are a form of cheating. Dad, it makes no sense. Well, the Mountain West apparently believes that because they have to wear the gray tops in Mountain West games. They can't go all blue because their field is blue. He made the comment about Oregon, but I guess the same thing holds true to Boise State. But they only won 37-10. Kellen Moore is a good quarterback. Some better receivers. Wisconsin, Michigan State. I'm going to try to get you the video of that. It was amazing the way it ended. It was set up by that shovel pass. That's an underrated play. Clemson keeps on winning. Everybody's trying to make the comparisons. Are they last year's Auburn? Boyd is not as dynamic as Cam Newton, but Sammy Watkins is really good. Really good. I think they go undefeated this year. Honestly, I'm having Clemson winning the rest of their games. South Carolina at the end might be their only hiccup. But yeah, I had Stanford and Washington as one of my games to watch for all the SEC people. Watch Pac-10 football, and I'm sorry, I done that to you. I didn't. In my heart of hearts, I knew it was going to be a blowout, but I was thinking maybe Washington and Steve Sarkisian could give us a good competitive football game, and it just made Stanford. It just made Stanford look like the best rushing team in college football. Arkansas and Ole Miss was a good game. A game I had here on my computer watching, and Ole Miss jumped out to a 17-0 lead. I was thinking, Houston always gets one. He used to coach at Arkansas. He always gets one upset a year, kind of like Coach Tuberville. Fell just short. It was a competitive ground game. It was a great game to watch. Just Ole Miss isn't that good. They fall 0-4 in the SEC. Oregon and Colorado. Remember I was saying Ducks? The Ducks got in that tail. The defending national runners-up went 45-2. That is an odd score. I never got 45-2 on my video game. I never got it. Never had it on this. But Oregon puts up video game numbers. 29 points in the first quarter. Kansas State rolls again. They're undefeated, 7-0, 4-0 in Big 12. But they got murderous row. I think they have Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, and Texas A&M in the next 3 weeks. Not all in that order, I don't imagine. Boston College gave Virginia Tech a little fight early. It was 7-6 a half. Virginia Tech just outmanned Boston College. Win 30-14. Nebraska wins 41-14 over Minnesota. Texas A&M and Iowa State. Tannehill. It was a great balanced attack. It was a sluggish game to watch early as a fan. As an average fan, I wasn't enjoying watching it, but Tannehill is such a great quarterback to watch play. And folks, if you haven't seen him, watch this guy play. Houston won 63-28. I didn't get to see that game, unfortunately. Case Keenum is now the total offense, holds the record for most total offense by one player in NCAA history. Guys, there are some great players to play in college football. It's not like Conference USA is the best conference, but it's not certainly the weakest conference. Impressive. Case Keenum, they're 7-0, 3-0 Conference USA. Watch out. I had Northwestern over Penn State. It was close for the first half, and the defense for Penn State picked it up. Northwestern falls to 2-5. Sorry, Will Bond couldn't get you. 20. Penn State keeps winning. I had Georgia Tech, and I was wrong. Miami, I knew Miami could do something like this 24/7. They said Ja'Cory Harris hasn't thrown a pick in his last, now going on 4 games. And Purdue stunned me 21-14, or up 21-0. Illinois actually came back in the fourth quarter. As a fan, you're like, this game's over. And in the fourth quarter, Illinois scored 2 touchdowns real quick. And this could be a great comeback for the ages, but Ron Zook's club just couldn't pull it off. It was overall, this is what you need to sum up this week in college football. The performance by Texas Tech's quarterback was tremendous. He was the best player of the day. Everybody's talking about Sammy Watkins and Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins struggled early. That, honestly, and people were asking, what's your opinion on the Hail Mary? And honestly, when you have a Hail Mary, everything is a little bit of luck when you go to Hail Mary. It was just a great, entertaining week of football. And Michigan State and Texas Tech, tremendous games. Also, some other Cuff Nuts games I forgot to mention. I had USC Notre Dame as my number 1 game to watch. Extremely disappointing. My most disappointing team for the weekend, had to be Notre Dame and Auburn. They just didn't play the way I expected they would play. Notre Dame turned the ball over. They, at points, looked better than USC, but USC were calm. And here's my comments on Lane Kiffin saying this was Notre Dame's Super Bowl. Lane Kiffin, look at me. You don't play a bowl game. Notre Dame has the opportunity to play a bowl game. It's your Super Bowl, bud. You went on the road. You won your bowl game. Kudos to you. That's your Super Bowl. Probably your Super Bowl might be Stanford next week. And Notre Dame saw this as an opportunity to keep moving forward. Lane Kiffin, if I were you, I love Pat Hayden. He says it. I love Pat Hayden as the athletic director at USC. So, dude, keep quiet, please, for your school. Because I like Pat Hayden. I don't want him to have to fire you. Also, Florida State, Maryland. Florida State looked like the team they were. 41-16, they let up a touchdown early, but E.J. Manuel's ability to run the football had everything to do with it. South Florida, Cincinnati was a great game as well. I didn't get to see the end of it, but I watched the majority of it. I gave you updates here on the Average Analyst Facebook. It ended up Cincinnati 37, South Florida 34, and Raymond James. In South Florida, that's a game. That was a big game for both schools. Zach Collaris is a good quarterback, and he gets a well-deserved win. Another game I was watching, Wake Forest and Duke turned out to be a pretty good one. Wake Forest made a good comeback. I think they're now bowl eligible. They beat Duke 24-23. Well, guys, I'm watching some NFL football right now. I'll probably get you an NFL video later on, probably tomorrow after Monday Night Football. Packers are up 20-17 now. My dog Christian Ponder's making a start. As a Florida State fan, I'm very excited. He's doing fairly well right now. Guys, please comment on Facebook. Go to Average Analyst at Twitter. And you can also email us at averageanalyst@hotmail.com. Well, I'm Rob Maloney, the Average Analyst, AA, signing out. Take it easy and hope you enjoy my commentary.